I wanted to break down for you guys how you can get temporary residency in Paraguay. So many of our clients are moving to Paraguay, and there are a lot of people that are contacting us wondering what needs to be done, what they should consider. You have to understand that moving to a new country is quite the procedure, right? Takes time, takes effort, takes planning, and what also takes, of course, knowledge and eventually some skills when you live in a country. But you want to make sure you get the planning right. Like the planning is so important, because you don't want to go to a country and have half of your documents, because you would have to go back and redo the whole process. So you don't want to do that. What we want for people is to be 100% prepared so that when they move to Paraguay, it's smooth as silk, if that makes sense. And so what we're doing here, right? Just talking now about what's involved is you want to get all your documents, okay? And you got to make sure that the documents that you're getting are apostille certified, whatever is available in your country. Each country is different. Sometimes you might need to get your documents translated if your country of origin does not issue the documents in at least a language that we can work with in Paraguay. For instance, in some countries, if you're a resident citizen of Austria and you're getting your criminal record certificate from Austria, then it's going to be in German and in English. That's not the problem, because we can then use that, like the English, to translate into Spanish. And we're going to do all of that in like Paraguay. But then if you come from maybe like an Eastern country where the criminal record certificate is just issued in the local language, you might be able to ask the issuing authority whether they can issue it in the local language and English. And if it's not possible, then we need to get it translated, right? So it depends on the country. And there are roughly 200 countries and territories, right? So each country is uniquely different. You want to get all the documents, right? Of course, the criminal record certificate is just one of them. The other documents that you will need as well. Before you go, it's really important that you have these documents verified. You don't want to go to the country and only have half of the documents, or even if just one document is missing, because you have to think about how can you get that document when you're overseas. Some consulates may not be able to help you. They say, hey, you need to get this done in the country of origin, in your country of residence or citizenship. If you're already in Paraguay, you might not be able to do that. It's really important that you actually get all of this done, because we've seen people that work with different companies and they were missing a document, or like there were people who tried it themselves, which is even harder, not knowing everything, because it's like the information that you find on the internet may not be 100% accurate. So it's really important that you consult with an expert, and ideally with a service that does this procedure every single day or every single week, because if they don't, they might not know what's required for you to get everything done the way it should be done. So this is crucial. Then what I also recommend, Paraguay is a Spanish-speaking country, right? There are two languages, Spanish and Guarani. If you come to Paraguay, most likely your SIM card, your overseas SIM card, will not work. And I might think, well, why are you talking about the SIM card? Well, it's actually really important. If you get to a new country, you want to have a functioning phone. It's really important that you have internet, that you're able to make phone calls, because if not, think about coming to the country and not having this infrastructure set up. It's infrastructure. If you don't have that, yeah, you can have someone picking you up from the airport. That's the preferred method for a lot of people coming to a new country on your own. If you're traveling with family or friends, your loved ones, like girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whoever, it's easier. But if you're traveling alone, it can be scary. That's why we recommend making sure that you have a functioning phone. So what we do for our clients is we actually pick them up at the airport and we give them a SIM card that they can use right away. They're going to plug it in, the problem solved. This is really important. And another thing that you have to understand is that not every person in Paraguay speaks English. The younger generations speak English fluently. Many people, not everyone, but many people do. But you're going to come across a lot of people that do not speak English, right? Just to be aware of that. What's important, again, to get your expectations right. Expectation is everything. If you get your expectations right, then it will be much easier for you to meet your expectations, to be realistic about the whole procedure. You don't want to go to a country having the wrong expectations and believing that everything is going to be smooth as silk. Not having done your homework will make sure that things will not be smooth. Doing your homework the right way will ensure that things will run smoother than for many other people. Then allow sufficient time for the processing of your residence permit. You're flying into Paraguay, things don't happen overnight. You're probably going to need at least a day or two to go to all the places, and if you work with us, we're going to take you to all the places, and things will go a lot faster than if you were to do it on your own. This is also important to remember. But still, it takes time for the government to process your application and issue your residence permit, right? So this is not an overnight thing. This does take time. Make sure you remember that too. So I'd say I'd recommend at least 7 to 10 days in the country so you can get everything done. Ideally, you want to do it with an agent like us because it's a proven concept and it will save you a lot of time, headaches, and potentially money if you have to fly back home and redo some of the paperwork. Just think about that. You have to redo the documents. This is the last thing that you want. Why? Flights are expensive these days, right? And the time as well. For some people, their time is worth more than the money that they have because they got more time than money. For other people, it's like, you know, the money that's more important. So you don't want to be making mistakes in this department. Very, very important. Then when you get to Paraguay, accommodation, right? When you fly in, you can do Airbnb. It's the preferred way. So that's what I recommend to people, unless you want to stay at a hotel or a 5-star hotel, if that's more convenient. If you want to have, for instance, breakfast included, right? If you want to have lunch and dinner included, then that's great. Many hotels offer full board. That's fantastic. You can have that. If you're more the kind of person who's like, I'd much rather stay at an Airbnb. I want my privacy. I don't want to leave the room and be confronted with a ton of people. There are people like that too, right? Then an apartment might be better, or a house. You can get a house, even better. Some people like living in the suburbs. Some people like living a bit further away from the city. We are all uniquely different. So make sure you consider that. If you have any questions about that, you can always leave a comment below and we will answer your questions for you. Other than that, if you need more insights, you can always check out our other YouTube videos on Paraguay. And if you're ready to get residency in Paraguay, you're more than welcome to contact us now. You should see the email and link displayed below this video. Thank you for watching.